This was terrible.
Why? Why do you say that?
They're probably under rubble.
Yeah.
And they're like making out.
How long?
I'm really excited to watch Captain America with you, because Captain America is my favorite Avenger. Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman. Thank you so much for joining me for another video, where today we're watching Thor, and I think we're gonna throw Captain America in there too. We've been having a good journey through the MCU Phase 1. I'm really excited to get to the end to watch Avengers. Last movie we watched was Iron Man 2. Matt, how do you feel about everything so far, 3 movies in?
I'm surprised I've liked anything.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, right?
So is everyone else.
Iron Man, really good stuff. That's all I can go off of right now.
Of the 3, of Iron Man, Hulk, and Iron Man 2, which one have you liked the most?
The first Iron Man.
The second Iron Man for sure.
What do you think about Thor? You've been wanting to watch Thor.
Yes, you've made me wait a week to watch this movie. I'm very excited. This one is popular with the ladies.
Why is it popular with the ladies?
Because of Thor. And one of the famous Chris's is the person, right?
Who? Doesn't ring a bell. Was he a football player? This is
Yeah.
a day movie.
Yeah.
What the hell is this coming to?
Well, because we're trying to get these videos out quickly, and because there's a quarantine right now,
It's 10:30 in the morning. What am I doing with my life?
we're watching this movie in the morning. It takes time to shoot, it takes time to edit, and we want to get these videos out, so sometimes we have to sacrifice and make Matt make me breakfast before we watch Thor. So that's what's happening.
And dinner and snacks.
And now, Thor.
Do you swear to guard the 9 realms?
I swear.
The House of Odin is full of traitors.
I now take from you your power. In the name of my father and his father before. I Odin, your father, cast you out!
Did it work?
Hey, sorry I tased you.
Damn good job, bro.
Ow. Why you favored Thor all these years? Because no matter how much you claim to love me, you're gonna have a frost giant sitting on the throne of Asgard.
This drink, I like it.
I know, it's great, right?
Another!
You want me to slow him down, sir?
You're big. Fought bigger.
What's he doing? No!
She searches for you.
Your work has impressed a lot of people who are much smarter than I am.
What is it?
Power, Doctor. If we can figure out how to tap it, maybe unlimited power.
Well, I guess that's worth a look.
All right, and that's the end. Thor. I really enjoy this movie. I think it's a lot of fun. It's not one of my favorite Marvel movies by a long shot, but it's definitely a fun movie. Matt, I already know you were muttering things to me during that. What did you think?
You wanna do Jenna first?
I really liked it. Not just stop. But because there was a touch of reality-ish in there, like real Earth world, and like that maybe mythological creatures and worlds do exist. I like that kind of tie into reality.
Yeah, so I got a list here. Overall, I was really leaning towards this, but I'm gonna give it 0.5 more. I give this a 5 out of 10.
Ouch.
It immediately felt like a mix of Star Wars and eventually 300. Like, I saw so much Star Wars in this.
You saw Star Wars in this?
Yeah, like a lot of like.
Is it just because it was outer space?
Like the makeup of the kingdom of Asgard.
I feel like this would have reminded you more of Lord of the Rings than Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I could see a mixture of Star Wars and 300. There's not as many lasers, but you mix those together and that's like this world. Asgard, yeah. His character sucked in the beginning. I mean, just garbage. I actually wrote it down and showed it to Holden, but his humility at the end, where he was talking to his dad and he's like, look, you know what? If I can just be half the king you are, you know, that's what's up. I really like that. I like that. The evolving of the character was good, and I think that's why I gave that 0.5. That spinning thing, what the f was that?
What are you talking about?
The damn...
He uses the hammer, you know, to get the momentum and inertia.
No.
Boom. Oh, you're talking about the Bifrost.
Yeah.
What did you not like about that?
I don't know. Just thinking that was someone's imagination to create that, that's kind of cool. I just think it's a bunch of
You get hung up on like the weirdest stuff. Like, why focus on just like the mechanism of how the Bifrost works when you have all this other stuff going on around it?
So the diner scene,
Oh my God.
the diner scene was really funny to me. The comic relief in there was really funny, where he was like, another! And then he's like, I need a horse! Like, that was good. I gotta tell you though, as a whole, I just don't care about this that much.
When you say as a whole, do you mean the MCU so far or just Thor?
It's Thor.
Okay.
This wasn't the worst one. I think the Hulk was the worst, but just above that, barely, was this.
Matt's opinion is garbage.
When the studios were making these movies, they had a couple of challenges. They wanted to start with Iron Man, great, but they had to incorporate Hulk and Thor, which had never really been done, at least not done well, especially Hulk. The only Hulk movie prior to this one was the 2003 Hulk by Ang Lee. It didn't do very well. So it's hard to do a movie like Hulk and a movie like Thor because they're so just like out there.
They are.
But they had to incorporate them in order to do the Avengers right. So they start with something strong like Iron Man that they can just, you know, jump in and have fun with that. They have to do Hulk, they have to do Thor, and then they end, the last movie before Avengers is Captain America, which is great. And then Avengers comes and it's, oh, what a time to be alive. In my opinion, when these movies first came out, the way they did Hulk and the way they did Thor, I think that they did a phenomenal job considering what they had to work with. Because they had to win over the audience to these two characters that are so hard to put on screen in a good way. And I think that they did that.
Speaking of details that don't really matter, that bridge, I really liked the bridge. It was really cool.
The Rainbow Bridge?
Yeah, that was rad. Like, you could see their feet lighting up and all that. That was cool.
Next is Captain America, who is my favorite Avenger by far. It's not even close. I love him. I really hope that you like it. I think just the way our personalities are, I think you are going to like Tony Stark more, and that's fine. And I'm looking forward to the movie that's coming later. You know which one I'm talking about. Captain America, the first Avenger. Such a good movie. I'm excited to share this with you, Matt. I know you don't want to hear this right now. He's mad I took some of his chicken that he was cooking, and now he's not talking to me. So that's what I'm going through right now personally.
I cook a certain amount of chicken for a certain amount of meals.
Well, Jenna had some too.
I know, I'm not happy with that either.
Stop being a little...
Oh, wow. I'm sorry, Matt. Captain America wouldn't have stole your food, and I need to be more like him.
Now, I know this about Captain America. He became jacked because he was in that chamber thing, but secretly, he ate enough chicken that was measured out for him.
All right, we're just going to jump into it. Captain America, the first Avenger.
I don't care what time it is. This one's waited long enough.
Is there anything you can do?
I'm doing it. I'm saving your life.
You just don't know when to give up, do you?
I can do this all day.
Cause I got a few moves I know you'll like.
Agent Carter! Win wars with guts. Grenade!
Oh, get away! Get back!
Is this a test?
He's still skinny.
Whatever happens tomorrow, you must promise me one thing. It's that you will stay who you are. Not a perfect soldier, but a good man.
Figured I'd wait.
For what?
Right partner.
You will be brought before the Führer himself!
Steve?
I had a date.
After watching Captain America again, it is my favorite of Phase 1. Save for Avengers, maybe. There's not much about it I don't like. What do y'all think about it? Jenna, I'll start with you.
I like how all the movies, even though they're all set in different time periods and are very different as far as like how the feel of the movie is, they're all intertwined. I like that, like the little details.
If you didn't like this, I swear to God, I'm gonna punch you in the face.
I don't like it.
What? How do you not like this? Makes me so angry.
It's not notable to me.
Like what? Like what did you not like specifically? I need a reason.
Okay, why is Homeboy red? They say nothing about him actually having superpowers.
He is like the absolute potential that a human being could be.
So he's human, but he's extra, so that would make him superhuman.
There is some stuff like talking about his metabolism and his cells. Yes, he's able to kind of heal a little bit faster, but he's still very much human. You shoot him, he will get hurt. He could die.
I did like that it was kind of, it was kind of set in the 40s. Yeah, well, they messed up with those gloves, so apparently they don't know what's going on back. Gloves in the medical field started being used in the late 70s, early 80s, right? So them wearing latex gloves or gloves in general, totally not a thing. That's just a nitpick.
Another thing that I've noticed about you is that you don't like it whenever there's like a love story intertwined on the grand scale. Is that fair to say?
No, not really.
You just have bad taste.
No, I don't mind the love story, and I liked it when she was like, wait, I know we're doing 130 miles an hour, but I'm gonna kiss you. Go get him. I like that. I was like, yeah, that's right. That's pretty great. This movie was just, I don't like, it just was not notable. And they had Star Wars riddled in here. The friggin' ship with the R2-D2 at the top.
Okay, it's easy to get swept up in all of the explosion and, red face and comic book-esque-ness of these movies. I get that. But these movies have layers beyond that. And Captain America, to me, maybe not to you, you're getting me fired up, man. Okay, the story of the guy who's like this weak, asthmatic.
It's Peter Parker all over again. They did it correct. Stan Lee did it correctly with Peter Parker. Okay, so I don't want to hear that.
Maybe you're right, but it's him having just like the heart. I figure you of all people with your sports movie bullcrap, put me in coach garbage, that you would like this. There's a dual comparison between Tony Stark's story and Steve Rogers' story. You remember when Tony Stark was in the cave and that dude was like, don't waste it, don't waste your life. He really connected with Tony when they were down there.
Yeah.
The same thing with this guy. He saw who Steve Rogers was before he was special, and so did Peggy Carter. The strength and the serum and all that is not what makes Steve Rogers great. It is his heart. It is his character. Stop looking at me like that. I love that about him.
I don't take that away from him either. The time frame was very evident and I think much more accessible of that character. Had a real heart, always does the right thing without a doubt. So his character, great, but the movie as a whole sucks.
I wholeheartly disagree.
Thank you.
It was a really good movie. I even like it better than Thor, and Thor had Thor in it.
I think Thor had some.
This is why.
I think Thor had some more size on him.
I'm gonna take Rich's spot here because you've really pissed me off on this one. All of your nitpicks about this movie are stupid. They're not legitimate. You don't get that he's red, so what? You don't like that they wear gloves, so what? You need to give me a real reason why you don't like it. And I'm talking about, aside from the little nit, what from a storytelling perspective did you not like about this movie?
The character development and the character himself did not grab me enough to be interested in the arc in his story. The supporting cast around him, to me, was nothing like holy crap notable. The fight scenes were a little drug out. If he's Thor, if this is magical, if we're headed to other planets, I get it. Like, he's a superhuman, and I can get in that mindset. But he's not.
He is superhuman. He is by definition superhuman.
But he's not a superhero.
But he is a hero. He saved all those people.
I'm talking about, is he a superhero?
Yes.
Can he fly?
Is Batman a superhero? He doesn't fly. Oh, got him.
No.
We're drawing comparisons between what makes a superhero or not.
Wait a minute.
And if your argument is that you have to have superpowers to be a superhero, then Batman, your favorite superhero, is not a superhero.
He just has expensive gadgets.
Here's the thing. It's never established if Batman is actually a superhero.
Batman is a superhero.
So now I'm not able to talk. Got it. Okay. They weren't very clear. Is he a superhero?
You're drawing a line saying that they never established he's a superhero in the movie. I mean, because they never do that with Thor or even Iron Man. They joke about, well, I wouldn't call myself a superhero or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. From the audience perspective, and because we know these characters for decades, we know that Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk are all superheroes. But are you upset because they never call him a superhero?
I'm not upset at all. I'm just telling you how I think, and seeing how I didn't grow up with all this, I'm coming into it blind. Thor, he is a superhero. He has magical powers. Tony Stark has a crap load of money, which technology, he's able to do stuff. Homeboy just got, some tests and, like basically a bunch of vitamin C. And y'all are telling me he can jump off friggin' trains and do all this stuff. I can't go there with him.
We're getting caught up on definitions and what technically makes a superhero or not. Quite frankly, I don't really care about that right now. I think our friendship is done. Honestly, I'm upset that you don't like this. I'm surprised that you've liked some of the others, so I guess I'll take what I can get. The next movie, Avengers, has a lot of conflict with Tony Stark. And that's a big thing. You can obviously tell Tony Stark is textbook narcissist versus Steve Rogers, who's selfless. And so they go at it a lot. I'm curious to see what you're gonna think of Avengers. When Avengers first came out, it was unprecedented what they were doing because they were mixing in all of these superheroes. There was all this worry about your favorite character not getting enough screen time and these things that we don't think about anymore. I like the way that it all ties together. We got one more for phase 1. What are you thinking about going into it and seeing all of it come together so far?
I don't like it.
Like any of it?
Iron Man, the first one's pretty good.
My thoughts about Avengers is that if they made like 74 movies afterwards, it must have been done well. I think there's a lot of room for error. Seems like since there's 170,000 more movies afterwards, that it must have been done well.
Maybe the silver lining in this will be because these movies are considered kind of quaint by today's standards. It just gets so much, you're not gonna like this, they get more complicated. They get more grand. Maybe complicated is not the right word, but there's definitely more at stake. And as other superheroes are introduced to the mix and other stories and stuff, it just becomes like a big universe. Even though you don't like the foundation, you might like what's down the road, but I'm guessing, again, this was my original prediction in the Iron Man video, that you weren't gonna like these.
I got your hopes up with Iron Man, didn't I?
You did, and I'm really frustrated. Avengers is the next time. Let me know what you think of Matt's very much garbage opinion on Captain America.
Leave it in the comments what you think. Maybe they're all superheroes. For me, this was not my flavor.
Tension's built up a little bit this time. That's okay. We'll see you in the next video. Leave me a like. It helps the channel out a lot. Stop it. Consider subscribing to see more fun content like this, and we'll catch you in Avengers, where Matt is sure to hate it and I'm sure to kill him. All right.